NewsNation's Marty Hughes is up next with continuing coverage of Queen Elizabeth's funeral service. We've been following live pictures from London, just all of the tradition, all of the honor due a woman who reigned for 70 years, Marnie. It's just remarkable.
Good morning, Adrienne.
All right,
and
Marty,
Mitch.
take it away.
It really has been an incredible and remarkable show of remembrance and honor for the Queen over these last few hours as we watch her coffin head to St. George's Chapel, where the commitment ceremony will be taking place shortly. And to look at the life and the legacy of the Queen and the amount of people who have turned out today in London and across Great Britain and really watching throughout the world, it takes your breath away to think of the impact that this Queen has had on so many. You're looking at live images from Windsor Castle, the committal service for the longest-serving British monarch currently underway as we continue to watch. The ceremony comes after her coffin was driven 45 minutes from Westminster Abbey. The service this morning in London, now to Windsor Castle. The Queen's funeral, attended by 2,000 people. It began shortly after 6 o'clock Eastern this morning. Today's services come just 4 days after the Queen lied in state, where tens of thousands of mourners filled in to bid their final farewell. Also to see the Queen's coffin pass by in person. Today, as you know, is a national holiday throughout the UK, a day of mourning in honor and celebration of the Queen's life. And events are taking place in London, also in the town of Windsor, which was such a special place for the Queen, and also where she will be buried later today. I want to bring in Lauren Lister now. She has been in London for these last 10 days of mourning to give us an insight, Lauren, as to the mood today as so many watch this and thousands of others witness what we're seeing in person today. Good morning, Lauren.
Good morning, Marnie. I would say solemn reverence. You know, the funeral procession happened just behind us, and it was really moving to see. It was bagpipes playing, and the Queen's coffin carried on a historic gun carriage that had carried her father's coffin as well, pulled by Royal Navy sailors, another nod to tradition that goes back to when horses became spooked in the funeral of Queen Victoria back in 1901. And it was a solemn march from the street here from Westminster Hall, where the Queen lied in state for 4 days, into Westminster Abbey, where the state funeral was held. And once the procession reached the doors of the church, the Queen's coffin taken off by pallbearers, taken into the church, and it was silence. And it was such an image, too, seeing the coffin enter the church and behind it the royal procession of family members with, of course, the King Charles, but also some of the youngest family members, the Prince and Princess George and Charlotte, the son and daughter of Prince William and Princess Kate, the Prince and Princess of Wales, part of that procession as well. And when the coffin came into the church, everyone stood up in reverence in those moments. Dignitaries, of course, invited to the funeral, including President Biden, who attended. And then it was just an hour-long service that was filled with music and prayer and moments reflecting on the Queen's legacy and her 70 years of service. And a state funeral is really reserved for just people of the most significance here. 1965 was the last one for Winston Churchill. And also it was noted the symbolism of Westminster Abbey for the Queen in particular. It was where she was coronated. It was where she was married. And today it's where she was memorialized. Now that funeral wrapped up, and the funeral procession through London was met with just so many people wanting to see that moment that areas to view it filled up. We met people that had been camped out for days to get a good spot. Just shows you how many people wanted to be part of those final moments in the Queen's last journey through London.
Well, and Lauren, so as we watch, the coffin will head towards Windsor Castle. The state hearse will slow to join the procession. They'll be formed in a line on Albert Road. They'll travel via a long walk to St. George's Chapel. And you talk about how important Westminster was and how special it was for the Queen. St. George's Chapel, the same, founded in the 14th century by King Edward III. The Queen closely involved with life at St. George. She spent Christmas services, Easter services there. And it's such an emotional place for her. And that translates to the emotion that we're seeing by so many today, Lauren. As you've talked to people this last 10 days since the Queen's passing, why is it so important for them to bear witness to this in person, to wait in hours-long lines to watch her coffin go by and to pay her tribute?
A few different things that come up again and again in the people that I speak to. One is wanting to pay their respects to the longest serving British monarch and someone that was the only monarch they'd ever known. So some people were shocked at just how sad they were to lose the Queen that had been the Queen here for their entire lives. And then also history. Many people remarking on how it's history making. They don't think they'll see another monarch serve as long as she did. Some calling it an end of an era, and just feeling also that being part of this collective mourning, this sense of unity, of everybody coming together for these moments, was history making in and of itself. So those are a few. Also just some personal reverence for the Queen and her character. A lot of people talk about her dignity, how she lived a life that was just completely dignified. No moments of controversy, maybe that some of her children or grandchildren have been embroiled in, but just like this very pure life. And they feel that it's an end of an era in some ways, you know, some of the people I speak to. And now at Windsor, that's also a place where we've seen tributes and outpourings leading up to the moments you're seeing today. It's also a place where people tell us she spent a lot of time living in Windsor Castle. Marnie, I'll send it back to you.
She loved Windsor. Lauren, thank you.